Rob, hello. Kirby Ray.
Hello, Kirby.
How you doing today, Rob?
I'm doing fine, buddy. What's happening at Real Rock 99.3? St. Louis. We love St. Louis. We're coming back. The Priest is back.
Well, I'll tell you what, we're so thrilled and honored to have you on the phone today, Rob, and thank you for taking time to speak with us and the listeners of Real Rock.
Well, you know, we go way back together. I was just thinking before we connected, Kirby, that wow, St. Louis has been looking after the Priest right from day one. And one of those very first early tours that we did in America in the late 70s, I think we came through St. Louis, and the Metal Maniacs were already waiting for us. So again, it's a thrill to come back. We're looking forward to seeing you guys.
Well, we're so thrilled to have you on the phone, as I said, and congratulations on nearly 50 years of the Priest, Rob.
Isn't it incredible, Kirby? Oh, man, we could talk forever about this, but unfortunately we don't have time. I tell you, if I get a chance, I'll come by the radio station when we do is it the Stifle or the...
It looks like Stifle, but it's actually Stiefel.
Oh, okay, great. I just want to make sure that I'm not saying it incorrectly. And also, I believe this will be the first time we've played that venue, because we're mixing it up on this tour, you know. The place that we're at in Priest now, we'll look at all these beautiful places that we've known and cherished and visited for so many decades, and we go, let's look at this place. Have we played here? Have we played there? So when the Steeple Theatre came up, we go, man, this looks like a cool venue. Let's check it out. And so we're going to come and play for you there, and you know, mixing it up on this run, giving us the theatre opportunity is just wonderful, because you get to see Priest up close and raw, you know, and there's a very special atmosphere that generates it in that kind of room. So it's going to be a great night out.
We're all totally excited. It's a beautiful opera house. You're going to love the place, Rob. So the show is June 6th in St. Louis, Stiefel Theater. You can get your tickets at judaspriest.com or realrock993.com. I know that you've done a couple of dates already on the new Firepower tour, and we're very excited to have you come. And I guess you've just done Florida, and you're going to be headed to Nashville and Georgia. Yeah,
all over the great United States. This again, you know, kind of goes back to what we were just talking about, Kirby, that when Priest first came over to America in the late 70s, we played every place. We were on the road for months and months and months. We played every bar, every club, every dive bar, anywhere we could plug the amps in, we played. So now when we do these big Priest tours, it takes about 3 legs. This is the third leg of the Firepower tour, to come and see all of our Metal Maniacs, you know. So when Priest hits the road, it's from, I don't know, Halifax over to Seattle, down to Seattle, San Diego, and Miami, and every place in between. But yeah, this will be the final leg of the Priest in America for this year, and the third Firepower USA leg tour. We're mixing it up. If you saw us when we came through the St. Louis area last time, we're bringing a different show this time. We've got a different stage set, costumes, lights, most importantly, the music. We're bringing out some real beautiful old classics that we haven't played before, or we haven't played a long time ago. So it's going to be a real treat.
We're looking very forward to it. Now, I wanted to ask you a little about your early influences. I spoke with Lemmy in '99 in St. Louis. He told me that he loves Little Richard. That was kind of what got him started. I saw that was someone that you really loved. Who were some of your other early influences, Rob?
Well, that's great. First of all, God bless Lemmy. His voice and his music will live forever. But here's the cool thing about that. Lemmy and I were, you know, from the same kind of generation. And here's the thing about Little Richard, you know, he still touches people with his music strongly now than ever before. He's an absolute legend and an icon. And the cool thing about this question that you've asked me, Kirby, on Real Rock, is that when I was a little kid, my aunt gave me one of her record players that she wasn't using anymore. It was an old Dan set record player, and I lifted the lid up, and inside were 345 singles. One was Elvis, one was Bill Haley in the Comets, and the last one was Little Richard. So as a kid, I was, maybe 10, 11, something like that. I went up to my bedroom and turned it all on and figured out how it would work. And the first record I put on was Little Richard. And the electricity that ran through my body when I heard that guy, I can still imagine it now. It was one of those kind of game changers when you listen to something in music that really has a profound effect on you. So I would definitely put Little Richard there. And you know, a lot of the greats. Obviously, the Beatles. I grew up as a Beatles fan. The early Stones, you know, and as we moved on into the electric stuff, people like Hendrix, The Doors. And it's just forever. Cream. Yeah, the list is huge, but. All of those legendary performers in rock and roll, whose music is still vital today and is great to listen to at any time.
I know some of the current bands that you work with, like In This Moment, Five Finger Death Punch. I'm really hoping that you work with Isan of Emperor, and I know you worked with Crocus in the past. Obviously, your projects like Halford 2 and Fight. And Fight I did see in the mid-'90s in San Francisco. Incredible band. Are there any other modern bands that you really love?
Yeah, I mean, you know, I've got my pulse on as many things as I possibly can, and it's just, where do you go? I mean, there's just an endless supply of new talent, and that's the joy for me as a musician, checking out other musicians, and so, yeah, I know you guys at Real Rock are across the board in the music that you play as well, from the Priest Maniacs through to all of the newer bands that are out there doing such great work. What it really emphasises is this belief that we've always had that, you know, the heavy metal music side of rock and roll will never die, and it's stronger than ever globally. We just got back from Australia and New Zealand and Japan, and man, the metal is so strong there and all around the world, you know. But a lot of the roots of it come from certain parts of America, and because it's related to the blues, particularly, where would we be without St. Louis, Missouri, with the blues? You know, it's all connecting in one way or another. It's great, man. It really is strong.
So I'm racking my brain last night thinking about good questions to ask you, Rob. And I remember Bob Coburn, rest in peace, on Rockline. I was listening because we aired it on Real Rock, and it was a live show. A caller asked about all the characters you've created in the songs, and if some of those characters might appear in a comic book someday. And I thought, man, what an awesome question.
Oh, wow, yeah, the Sentinel, side by side. It's like the Avengers. It's like the Avengers, Kirby. You've got the Sentinel, you've got the Painkiller, you've got the Tyrant. There's a trio right there. How cool would that be? You've given me an idea there, Kirby. You've given me a really good idea. There's probably somebody listening to our interview going, I'm going to start, you know, putting this together in terms of characterization. That's what we love to do in Priest. We're across the board, you know, we're either the Painkiller or we're breaking the law or we're doing the Firepower, living after midnight. We have a lot of fun with the messages and the characters that we create. I think that's part of the attraction to Priest, that you know, again, we mix it up. You never quite know what to expect next from Judas Priest.
Well, speaking of having fun, I see that you always have fun on your social media page, and I follow you there. You use the filters. You always got different hats and sunglasses and shirts on, and you share things about music that you love with your fans. Do you get input from your fans on your personal page?
Oh yeah, I'm all. You know, I personally post everything on my Facebook and on my Instagram. I don't have anybody doing that for me, and I read everything that everybody says. It's a bit of a minefield because if you start answering directly, it's a bit of a Pandora's box, and I've got other things to do. You know, I'm a busy guy, but I do appreciate and understand the connection, the personal connection that they provide. I've got close to 500,000 followers at Rob Halford Legacy on Instagram, and a bunch of people on Facebook. It's great, man. You know, it's a nice way to keep in touch, particularly when you're either recording or writing or just chilling. You know, it's a lot of fun. I just put a thing up the other day that has just exploded. I did this bit of a tribute to my late great iconic friend Ronnie James Dio. I was kind of lip syncing with the song From Heaven and Hell, you know, and my followers were going nuts. And it's just a great way of seeing, reading this wonderful communication that we have as a metal community. The metal community is strong and thriving, and we look after each other.
I love what you post there, Rob, so keep it up, man. I saw that you guys did a rapid fire in rehearsal. I love your practice area. Richie says there could be 8 to 10 songs that you might work into the sets on this leg of the tour. Any hints on those songs?
Yeah, let's see. Out in the Cold, that just sounded amazing when we were jamming over at Andy's place there. Rapid Fire, of course, you just mentioned. We just played that out in Australia, Japan, and New Zealand, I think. What else? Bringing the Sentinel back, talking of characters. Yeah, there's another character, the Sentinel. Probably a couple of tracks from Firepower. Now that's kind of embedded with our Metal Maniacs, and I know all the tracks. Take These Chains Off from Screaming the Vengeance. We've probably got close to 12 or maybe 15 songs that we're knocking around. We have a jam room like a lot of bands before we go on. We jam, we hang out, we have we're in each other's company making metal before we even hit the stage. And it can be anybody. It's a lot of fun. Sometimes we go live and we'll play some Slayer or some Metallica or whoever it might be because we're all friends and we all admire each other's music, so we mix it up backstage. So yeah, that's how some of these tracks like Killing Machine came out onto the live stage because the guys were jamming and I was in my room and I'm like, what are they doing? Is that Killer Machine? I haven't heard that in like 30 years. And I go in and I go, yeah, Killer Machine, it sounds good, let's try it out. And played it live and the fans are loving it, so I'm sure we'll put that on the set list when we come back to St. Louis at the Stifel Theatre.
Very cool, and I saw the live video that someone had posted online of that. How do you donate to the Glenn Tipton Parkinson's Foundation?
So easy. Firstly, thank you for mentioning that about Glenn. Glenn is strong. He's working on riffs and stuff back home in the UK for the next inevitable Judas Priest album. Yeah, there's a couple of things you can do. You can just go to the Judas Priest socials, either on the Instagram or the Facebook or via Twitter. You'll find information how to connect to his foundation. We're still doing this cool thing, Kirby, that at the front of the venue, we have the Firepower bike, which you can sit on and throw a couple of bucks in the bucket, and all of that, every penny of that, goes to Glenn's foundation. And I think we're getting close to homing in on like $100,000 that have been raised so far for this wonderful foundation. So that'll be there for everybody. Everybody at Real Rock, come and check that out and sit in the bike and throw your horns up for Glenn. It's a beautiful thing.
We totally will. And I know you probably want to send Ozzy Osbourne and his crew some love with the announcement of the cancellation of some of the shows that probably you were going to be doing with him.
Yeah, we love Ozzy so much. Millions of us, we love that man so much. We just want him to be well, we want him to be healthy. We want him to be strong, and that's exactly what he's fighting to do right now. And he will be back. He's the Prince of Darkness,
Totally.
We send massive amounts of metal love from Priest as a band to him. We've known Ozzy forever. He's a legend. He's iconic. Everybody forgets what a great singer Ozzy Osbourne is. He's got this, as a singer to singer, he's got this amazing, unique, full of character, profound, emotional voice. I love to hear Ozzy sing. Whenever we do shows together, I'm always sitting on the side watching him work, So, yeah, big love and hugs to Ozzy, and we look forward to seeing him back on the road as soon as he can.
Well, I only have about a minute left, so I'm going to get these last couple questions in there. I wanted to find out if you could give us any teasers on your autobiography or that new Judas Priest album that is on the way.
Yeah, I'm quite surprised, really, because there's a bidding war going on for this book of mine. I think I've waited long enough, and that's kind of surprised me. I never take anything for granted, Kirby. I'm just I'm just so grateful that, all the fans have given me this great life in metal. All of us in Priest are grateful to our fans for giving us this great life in metal. But there's an enormous amount of interest, and particularly in my life as a metal singer. So I'm slowly but surely putting that together, and as it starts to become really real, which it looks like it is, we'll let everybody know Real Rock. What was the other part of your question, Kirby? I forgot what it was now.
It was if there's anything you can share about the new album. I know you said that is definitely on the way.
Oh, yeah. Well, again, with Priest, we never plan this stuff out. We just get together and we try and have a little bit of a direction. Like for Firepower, we wanted to take all the kind of classic elements of Priest, and that could be anything from rock and roll to what you heard on Firepower now, but that at least gives us kind of a fine-tuning mechanism to what we're looking for. Otherwise, we're all over the place. So I think we got that pretty nailed down in the sequencing of Firepower. Where we'll go next, I don't know. every Priest album, as you know, Kirby. I know you play all the Priest albums one way or another on Real Rock 99.3. I know you guys do. We love you for that. But whatever it'll be, it'll have its own character and its own definition. Slowly but surely, there'll be a new Priest album in the not too distant metal future.
Totally. And Rob, we're so honored to have you. So thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you, Kirby. Thank you, Real Rock. Thank you, St. Louis. The Priest is back. See you all soon. Bye-bye now.
We'll see you in St. Louis, Rob.
See you, Kirby. Bye-bye.